She froze when the midnight silence broke with a soft whimper from the rose garden. The earth was fresh,
Maya,
but
what's
something darker
happening?
was buried beneath. A child's voice, muffled and desperate, pulled her closer, 6 years old and buried alive. Maya, what's happening? A whisper broke through her shock. She couldn't breathe, couldn't think, just had to save him. But soon, the family's perfect image cracked, and all fingers pointed to her. Why would the maid do this? Vanessa's venomous smile hid a deadly secret. Detective Ramirez circled like a hawk, eyes fixed on Maya's trembling hands. And that's where her story truly began. Before we dive deeper, please, if you're listening to this right now, I want to prove my stepmom wrong. She said, I can't even reach 1,000 subscribers. Help me show her that stories like this matter. Subscribe to Jossie's Folklore, and let's keep breathing life into tales that refuse to die. Now, let's continue. She froze, heart pounding as the midnight air carried a faint, desperate whimper from the rose garden behind the grand Whitmore estate. The moonlight barely lit the path, but the sound was unmistakable, a child, trapped, calling out for help. Her name was Maya, a maid in the sprawling Whitmore household, and in that moment, nothing else mattered. The earth looked freshly disturbed, soft but heavy under her trembling hands. Ethan, she whispered, dropping to her knees, fingers clawing through the soil. The air was thick with fear, but she pushed on until her hands grasped something small and cold. The 6-year-old boy's face was streaked with dirt and tears, eyes wide with confusion and terror. Maya, what's going on? Sophie, Ethan's older sister, appeared, breathless and panicked. Maya's voice barely came out. He's alive, but someone buried him here. Suddenly, the peaceful Whitmore mansion felt like a prison. News spread fast, and suspicion quickly followed. Vanessa, Ethan's stepmother, stepped forward with a mask of grief so convincing it fooled everyone except Maya. Why would the maid do this? Vanessa's whispered poison echoed through the halls. Detective Ramirez, sharp and relentless, began his hunt, and Maya's world shrank as she became the prime suspect. Is it justice or jealousy? Is the truth buried deeper than the soil in the garden? Maya knew one thing. This was only the beginning of a story darker than anyone imagined. What would you do if you were blamed for something you didn't do? Have you ever felt trapped by lies? Stick with me. It's about to get even more intense. Vanessa's smile was like a razor wrapped in silk, beautiful on the surface, but deadly beneath. As Maya struggled to clear her name, the Whitmore mansion turned colder, darker. Richard, the billionaire patriarch, caught in Vanessa's web of deceit, looked at Maya with suspicion in his eyes. The children, once warm and trusting, now whispered behind Maya's back, their hearts tangled in fear and confusion. Maya felt the walls closing in. Alone, with only Sophie's quiet courage beside her, she began to dig deeper, not just in the garden, but into Vanessa's past. What she found was chilling. Newspaper clippings, hidden behind old books, exposing Vanessa's real name, Elena Cortez, and a trail of broken marriages, vanished husbands, and whispered rumors of poisoning and fraud. Receipts for strange medications prescribed to Ethan appeared on the kitchen counter, a silent accusation. She's trying to hurt him, Sophie whispered, her voice trembling. The ghost of our mother. She told me, Vanessa isn't who she says she is. Maya's heart ached for the children caught in the middle of Vanessa's lies. But she couldn't falter. The truth had to come out for Ethan, for Sophie, for the family she had grown to love. She sent the evidence anonymously to Detective Ramirez, praying he would see what she saw. Meanwhile, Vanessa's charm began to crack. Her poison, literal and metaphorical, was close to being exposed. Have you ever had to fight for the truth alone? What would you risk to protect a child's life? The hospital room was cold, sterile, but the battle raging inside was anything but. Ethan lay fragile in the bed, hooked to machines that beeped a steady rhythm, the fight for his life far from over. Vanessa stood by his side, her smile thin and practiced. But Maya saw the darkness lurking beneath. One afternoon, as Vanessa prepared to slip a suspicious vial into Ethan's medicine, Maya caught her in the act. "You won't get away with this," Maya said, voice steady but fierce. Vanessa's eyes flashed with fury, her mask finally slipping. "You think you're the hero here? You're nothing but a servant trying to steal what's not yours." Before Vanessa could react, the door swung open. Detective Ramirez stepped in, holding the evidence Maya had sent him. "That's enough," he said calmly, his gaze locking onto Vanessa. The room seemed to hold its breath as the truth crashed down. Vanessa's perfect world shattered. The forged passports, the fake identity, the trail of lies all exposed. Ethan, weak but brave, whispered the words that sealed her fate. "She buried me alive." Tears streamed down Richard's face, a mix of grief and gratitude, as he looked at Maya no longer just a maid, but a protector. The children began to heal, their laughter slowly returning to the Whitmore halls. Maya, once an outsider, was now a part of the family, a beacon of hope and strength. What would you do if the person you trusted was your greatest danger? And who would stand up when no one else would? The nightmare was over, but the scars remained. Richard stood quietly beside Maya as the children played in the garden once more, sunlight bathing the home in warmth that had been missing for so long. The Whitmore family was broken, yes, but healing was possible because truth and courage had won. Maya reflected on the journey from accused maid to family hero. It wasn't just about uncovering secrets or fighting lies. It was about faith in herself when no one else believed. She learned that, sometimes, love means standing alone, speaking truth into silence, and protecting those who cannot protect themselves. This story reminds us, no matter how dark the night, hope can shine through. Forgiveness can rebuild. And family, real family, is about more than blood. It's about trust, sacrifice, and the strength to fight for what's right. If this story touched you, hit that subscribe button for more emotional tales from Jossie's Folklore. And even if it didn't, come on, subscribe anyway, we'll win you over next time. Drop a comment, like the video, and let's keep the stories alive. Thanks for watching.